Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at a creature that most people probably only think about when they're trying to swat it away in the summer.
Yeah.
We're talking about mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
They're everywhere,
Yeah.
and they are super annoying.
Yeah, they can be a real pain.
But we wanted to take a deep dive and really look into mosquitoes.
Okay.
See if there's more to them than just those
Right.
itchy bites and the diseases.
Yeah, we tend to focus on the negative,
Yeah.
but like all creatures, they have a role to play in the ecosystem.
So that's what we're going to be looking into today.
Exactly.
Why are mosquitoes even here?
Yeah.
Is there some cosmic purpose that they serve?
Well, from a purely scientific evolutionary perspective, there isn't really this idea of creation or purpose in the way that we might think about it. But like I said, every species plays a role, and by understanding those roles, we might get a little bit closer to answering that question of why.
So let's start with the good.
Okay.
What are some of the good things about mosquitoes?
Well, believe it or not, mosquitoes are actually pollinators.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that those blood-sucking
little
vampires that we all know are pollinators like bees and butterflies?
The males specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they live solely on nectar from flowers.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
It's a little counterintuitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it shows that even those creatures that we view so negatively can have these really important roles in the natural world.
So it's the females then?
Yes.
That need the blood meal.
That's right.
For egg production.
Correct. They need that extra protein and iron to create the next generation.
So it's almost like a mama bear needing to bulk up before hibernation.
Exactly.
But instead of salmon, it's
us. Yeah. Yeah. A very apt analogy, I would say.
So we're not their only target, though, right?
Yeah. That's right. While some species have preferences, a lot of them will target a variety of animals.
Okay.
Amphibians, reptiles, birds, you name it.
Okay, so why are they so drawn to us then?
Well, it's
the mushroom alcohol on our breath I've heard about.
You're talking about 1-octanthriol.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one factor for some species.
Okay.
But it's a lot more complex than that. Mosquitoes are like these tiny flying detectives.
Oh.
They're using a whole bunch of senses to track us down.
So it's not just what we exhale.
Not at all. They also detect carbon dioxide body heat and even visual cues.
Really?
Some researchers even think that they can recognize specific shapes and colors.
So they can see me.
Imagine that.
Coming from across the yard and be like...
Yeah, and be like...
Dinner time.
Dinner.
That's incredible and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
But how do they actually get that little needle through our skin?
Right. Their mouth isn't actually a single needle. It's a structure made up of 6 needle-like parts called stylets. And these stylets work together with this amazing precision to gently saw their way into our skin with minimal force. It's really quite a marvel of engineering on a microscopic scale.
Okay, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
In a creepy, crawly sort of way.
Right.
So then that brings us to the dreaded itch.
The itch.
Why do mosquito bites itch so much?
That itch is our body's immune response in action. So as the mosquito is drawing blood, it injects saliva to prevent clotting.
Right.
And our bodies recognize the saliva as a foreign substance.
Okay.
And they release histamine, which causes inflammation in that itch.
So basically our body is waging war on mosquito spit.
Exactly. Our bodies are amazing, complex machines.
Yeah.
Even when dealing with something as tiny as a mosquito bite. But speaking of complexity, the story gets a bit darker when we consider the role mosquitoes play in disease transmission.
Right. And that's what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive.
That's right. We'll be right back after a quick break. And we're back, continuing our deep dive into the world of mosquitoes.
Before the break, we were talking about our body's reaction to mosquito saliva.
Yeah, our immune system really goes into overdrive.
Yeah, it does.
But there is, as we all know, a much darker side to those bites.
Right. You're talking about the diseases that they spread.
Exactly. Mosquitoes are vectors for so many nasty illnesses.
It's true.
Malaria, dengue fever, Zika, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if the world would actually be better off without them.
It's a question a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
And scientists and ethicists have actually been grappling with this for a long time.
If we could just snap our fingers and get rid of all the mosquitoes, wouldn't that just
It seems like an easy solution.
Yeah.
But it's not that simple.
Okay, so why not?
Well, eradicating an entire species could have consequences that we can't even imagine.
So you're saying that even mosquitoes have an important role to play?
Every creature does.
Okay.
For example, mosquito larvae are a food source for fish and other aquatic animals. And let's not forget about the adult mosquitoes.
Yeah.
They're on the menu for bats, birds, all sorts of insectivores.
It's true. We don't always think about
It's easy to forget.
those interconnected webs of life.
Yeah.
But couldn't we at least just target the disease-carrying species and just leave the rest alone?
Again, it sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
But it's much more complicated than that.
Okay.
Even identifying all the disease-carrying species is a huge task. Plus, nature is adaptable, so there's always the chance that another species could step in and become a new vector.
So are there any other solutions out there?
There are some promising avenues being explored.
Okay.
One approach is to release sterile male mosquitoes into the wild.
And how does that work?
Well, they mate with the females.
Okay.
But no offspring are produced.
So gradually reduces the population.
Exactly. And then there's also research into genetically modified mosquitoes.
Genetically modified mosquitoes.
I know it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does.
But the science is really advancing.
Okay.
And these modified mosquitoes could be incapable of transmitting diseases or have shorter lifespans.
So again, the goal is to reduce their numbers.
Exactly.
It's amazing to think that we might be able to outsmart mosquitoes at their own game.
It's fascinating.
But even if we could completely get rid of them, should we?
That's a great question.
Is there some point where the benefits outweigh the risks?
It's a big question, and there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
It's a complex ecological and ethical dilemma.
Right.
And it forces us to really think about our place in the world.
Yeah.
And the responsibility that we have to understand and manage this delicate balance of nature.
You know what? I never would have thought that we'd be having such a deep conversation about mosquitoes.
Me neither.
But it really shows you how interconnected everything is.
Absolutely. Every creature has a role to play.
It's incredible to think that something as small as a mosquito can really spark such a complex conversation.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not just about their role in the ecosystem. Mosquitoes have also had a big impact on human history and culture.
Yeah, absolutely. I've read about how malaria outbreaks have influenced the course of wars, shaped the development of entire civilizations.
It's amazing, isn't it? Their impact goes way beyond just those itchy bites.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Mosquitoes have been around for millions of years, interacting with countless species, including us. So it's not surprising that they've found their way into our myths, our folklore, even our art.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that creepy mosquito in that old silent film, How a Mosquito Operates?
Yeah. A true nightmare brought to life.
Yeah, it's fascinating how they've become this universal symbol
Yeah.
of annoyance disease.
Right.
And even death in some cultures.
Exactly. But in other cultures, they represent different things.
Oh, really?
Persistence, adaptability.
Okay.
Resourcefulness.
Interesting.
Even seen as messengers, tricksters, or even spirits.
Wow.
They're really woven into our collective human experience.
Yeah, it's true. We don't always stop to think about that.
No, we don't.
It's like those tiny reminders that we are connected to nature.
Yes, whether we like it or not.
Exactly.
They force us to think about our relationship with the natural world, the good, the bad, and the incredibly complex.
That's a great point. I think that's a great takeaway from this whole deep dive.
It's easy to forget when we get caught up in our day-to-day lives that we're actually part of something much bigger.
It's true. And even something as small as a mosquito can remind us of that.
It's a humbling thought, isn't it?
It really is. And it makes you wonder what other secrets and lessons are out there just waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. There's so much more to explore.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring the world of mosquitoes with you.
Likewise. And to all of our listeners out there, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity.
Yeah, get out there and keep exploring.
And remember, even a mosquito can teach us a thing or two.
Exactly.
About the world around us.